The film commences with George, an undercover government operative, on the trail of a dangerous individual. His team encircles the building where the target is located. Upon entering, George and fellow agents stumble upon Joseph, who works as a janitor there. When George discloses his government affiliation and invites Joseph to join them, Joseph, realizing their allegiance, defiantly hurls his broom at them. He makes a quick escape, utilizing his special abilities to leap from the floor and burst through the roof. The pursuing agents close in on him in a storage unit, but Joseph manages to break free. As the agents pursue Joseph onto the roof, they eventually subdue him using a specialized taser, rendering him unconscious. To neutralize his powers, they inject him with a serum and transport him to a clandestine facility. George reunites with Captain Williams, the leader of the program. Williams informs George that genetically enhanced human beings are highly perilous and have a tendency to harm others, which is the reason George became involved in the program. However, when George confronted Joseph, the latter evaded capture. Williams underscores that these enhanced individuals are not only dangerous, but also deceitful. He cautions George to exercise extreme caution when dealing with them. Furthermore, Williams shares details about an enhanced individual who's been targeting others of their kind. The perpetrator remains unidentified, but the methods used to carry out the killing suggest the involvement of another enhanced person. In another part of the city, Anna, another enhanced human, works in a car garage. She assists Danny with his work, and he, in turn, aids her in obtaining a forged passport for escape to China to evade government detection. The following day, Danny faces threats from Marco and his associates, who initially agreed to provide the forged ID, but later demanded more money. Unable to meet their demands, Danny is attacked by Marco's men. Witnessing the brutality, Anna unleashes her powers, incapacitating everyone except for one gunman. A stray bullet meant for Anna hits Danny, inflicting a fatal wound. Anna calls the police, seizes her passport, and flees the scene. George's team intercepts the call, discerning the involvement of an enhanced individual. Utilizing a specialized watch that traces the signals emitted by enhanced people, they track her down. In her frantic search for supplies, she encounters a man who claims to be there to assist her. Skeptical, she uses her power to repel him, stealing a truck in her haste to escape. However, George and Scott tail her on the highway. Realizing she is being pursued, she alters her route, diverting into a farm field. George commands his team to assemble at her location, directing a drone to monitor her movements. Suddenly, a surge of energy disables all electronic devices, including her truck. Seizing the opportunity, George's team closes in, surrounding her. George instructs Anna to exit the truck with her hands raised, and she complies. While Scott searches her vehicle, he discovers her passport. George questions her motives for heading to China and inquires about Danny's death. Anna attempts to explain that she tried to assist Danny and vehemently denies being responsible for his death. Despite her explanation, George remains skeptical and unconvinced. His team employs a power surge from their watches to tase Anna, who retaliates with a force field, pushing them away. She makes it to a small cabin, but George tracks her and follows. Anna ambushes him, gaining the upper hand. However, George uses a flash grenade to impair her vision, tases her, and prepares to inject her with a serum. Before he can administer it, another enhanced individual named David surprises him from behind, knocking him out. David transports the two to a secure location, proceeding to restrain George. Anna identifies David as the person who infiltrated the facility, facilitating the escape of the enhanced individual. Upon awakening, David interrogates George about the whereabouts of the captured enhanced individuals. Refusing to disclose the information, George faces the threat of imminent death. However, Anna intervenes, requesting some time. David grants them until the morning and departs. Alone, Anna questions George about why he was pursuing her. He reveals that she is considered a highly dangerous killer, citing information he gleaned from her file. The file discloses her involvement in the deaths of numerous individuals, including her parents and therapist. In response, Anna discloses that she was separated from her parents at the age of 4 and has no knowledge of their identity. A government organization called SYSA subjected her to experiments and molded her into a trained assassin. She discloses to him that refusal to carry out killings resulted in severe punishments, even risking her own life. Furthermore, she reveals that her therapist's death occurred because she addressed her by the name Anna instead of the assigned number. While George remains somewhat skeptical of the narrative, he acknowledges that he hasn't been given the complete truth about the program. In the morning, George's team endeavors to trace the signal to locate Anna. Suddenly, their watches start beeping, indicating the presence of an alpha type in the vicinity. Scott, initially skeptical as he was informed that there are no alpha humans, dismisses it as a bug. However, his skepticism is shattered when he comes face to face with David. The team attempts to confront David, but he effortlessly overpowers them. Seizing an opportunity, Scott manages to tase David from behind and injects him with a serum meant to disable enhanced powers. Surprisingly, David remains unaffected, defeating everyone except Scott, who escapes and returns to headquarters. Meanwhile, George implores Anna to release him, emphasizing the danger posed by David, who might be targeting his own kind. Unconvinced, Anna remains steadfast. Joseph, now in possession of a red blinking device, launches an attack on Anna. In the ensuing struggle, George seizes the opportunity to free himself and inject Joseph with the serum. George was astonished to encounter Joseph, given the earlier information that he was marked for elimination upon capture. Anna clarifies that the red blinking device is a reprogramming tool used to control the enhanced without their consent. She reveals that the government employs the enhanced as weapons, exposing the falsehoods in everything George had been told. Convinced by Joseph's presence, George decides to assist Anna in escaping. The duo flees and reaches the main road, where the person who had previously attempted to help Anna advises them to hop into his car. He drives them to his house, introducing himself as Eli. At Eli's home, they meet an enhanced individual named Lou who resides with him. Eli discloses that he once worked as an analyst for SYSA and was unaware of the organization's experiments on people until the facility was attacked by David. He was saved by Lou during the assault. Further revelations expose that the company sought to create a super serum by accessing another dimension with infinite energy and no entropy. The catch was, they needed the source, David. Eli disclosed that David wasn't human but an interdimensional being of pure energy. Since his dimension lacked entropy, he didn't age or die. However, when the company absorbed some of his energy and injected it into humans, David lost the ability to return to his dimension. David desperately yearned to return to his dimension, relentlessly tracking down enhanced individuals to reclaim their power, a process that proved fatal for them. As he amassed full power, he aimed to open the door to his dimension. Despite Eli's efforts to find a way to thwart David, the latter grew stronger with each enhanced person he killed. The only apparent solution was to weaken him to prevent regeneration, and then eliminate him. Faced with this dire situation, George resolved to return to headquarters and alert everyone, trusting that their weapons could halt David. However, as he prepared to leave, David appeared at the door. Eli urged them to escape through the back door, sacrificing himself and Lou to confront David. Despite their valiant efforts, David's overwhelming power led to the demise of Eli and Lou. Catching up with George and Anna attempting to flee in a car, David forcibly broke down the car door, throwing Anna aside. He then seized a container, dropping it on her in a ruthless act. David initiated the process of reclaiming his powers, but George intervened, proposing a deal. He offered to guide David to the location where all the captured enhanced individuals were held, on the condition that Anna be spared. David agreed, and the duo set off for headquarters. Meanwhile, Anna, trapped beneath the container, summoned all her strength to free herself, determined to make her way to the headquarters. During the journey, George inquired about David's motives. David revealed that this dimension was detrimental to him, expressing a need to return. He disdainfully described every particle in the universe as disgusting and pitied humans for existing in such a hellish place. Seizing an opportunity, George distracted David and forcibly ejected him from the car. George then sped to headquarters, eager to warn everyone. However, upon arrival, he was intercepted by guards who promptly arrested him, thwarting his attempts to deliver the crucial warning. He is subsequently brought before Captain Williams and Scott, where he discloses information about David and his intentions. However, Williams remains skeptical and dismisses his claims. Unveiling a group of reprogrammed enhanced individuals, Williams asserts his plan to confront David with them. Despite George's attempts to explain that David will only grow stronger by absorbing their powers, suddenly, an alarm reverberates through the facility. Reviewing the security footage, they witness David effortlessly subduing the guards. In response, Williams deploys the enhanced individuals to apprehend David. As expected, David easily overcomes them, reclaiming their powers in the process. Making his way to the chamber where Williams and Scott are located, David swiftly eliminates Williams. Turning to George, he warns that Anna will suffer because of him. Unexpectedly, Anna materializes behind David, defiantly informing him that he can try. The two engage in a heated confrontation, during which George manages to break out of prison by shooting down the door. Now significantly empowered, David mercilessly beats Anna, poised to deliver a final blow. In a desperate move, George activates the emergency button, releasing a gas that neutralizes all powers. With his strength depleted, David becomes vulnerable, allowing Anna to turn the tables and overpower him. She beats him to the ground and, seizing a gun, prepares to retaliate. Witnessing David plead for his life, Anna hesitates momentarily. Capitalizing on the opportunity, George takes the gun and shoots David. 4 months later, George and Anna reunite. Anna has adopted a simpler life, working as a mechanic. George hands her a list containing the names of all the enhanced individuals, encouraging her to help them transition to a normal life. As the movie concludes, we observe another enhanced being living a mundane life. The doorbell rings, and he opens it to find David standing there, claiming to possess something that belongs to him.